This is JW Nomo. I wanted to come on here and share with everyone an experience that recently happened to me. And I just want to start by saying this is that I had an elder call me, inviting me to a judicial committee meeting, just out of the blue, concerning my apostate website. Now, mind you, I've never ever had an apostate website. Don't know where they got this information from. So my response to the elder was, I have no idea what you are talking about. I do not have such a thing. So you've been misinformed, and apparently slander has started. Therefore, you're having a judicial committee meeting. So my response to him was, he told me the time and everything. It wasn't anything like, how are you doing? How's your family doing? How's work going? Anything personable, anything like that. It was like, we're having a judicial committee meeting. Here's the time at the Kingdom Hall. Look forward to seeing you. Bye. That's it. That's all there was. So that was back in probably September, maybe. And never heard anything from any elders. No letters, nothing. So I'm just wondering what exactly happened, because usually elders are very persistent in getting someone to attend their judicial committee meeting so they can disfellowship them, get them out of here because they are an apostate or anything like that. Now, mind you, I have not been to a meeting in probably 9 years or so, maybe more. And so technically, if a person's not there to contaminate the ones in the Kingdom Hall, isn't the congregation already clean if a person isn't there to disfellowship? You know, no one's there to mix in company with the clean flock or anything like that. So maybe they finally sunk into their head, you know what, that person's already gone, they're too far gone anyway. You know, let's just let it go. Leave it in Jehovah's hands. So, the reason why I want to do a couple of parts here on the video, certain video parts, apparently, because I only have, I think, like 10 minutes or so to do each part. But anyway, I wanted to share with you my thought of how they may have gotten informed by someone. Has anyone ever encountered, say, talking to a Jehovah's Witness or a family member or any Jehovah's Witness for that matter, and that person just totally cuts you off? Say on Facebook, they unfriend you, they close their account. You know, it's like it's fear. Fear just like takes over them. You know, because this person's an apostate. They're gonna, you know, totally draw me away from the organization. They totally freak out. It's the weirdest thing. But I had a conversation going back and forth between somebody that I used to know, and they were on Facebook, and we, you know, first it started out with a thread that he started on Facebook, and his question was, should true Christians celebrate birthdays? Now, unbeknownst to me, the question was for someone in his family who either wasn't a Jehovah's Witness or may have been a Jehovah's Witness. I don't know, but when you put something out there like that, it's almost like an invitation so that everybody else can chime in to that question. So therefore, I did, and I gave him factual stuff regarding, you know, birthdays and everything like that. And even mentioned, you know, at one time, witnesses celebrated birthdays. And here's a couple of reasons why Jehovah's Witnesses do not celebrate birthdays. There was only, you know, a couple of negative instances in the Bible, and that's pretty much it. Why Jehovah's Witnesses don't celebrate birthdays. So therefore, it kind of opened up something. So we actually started messaging back and forth on a Facebook message thing. So I would like to read to you guys the entire conversation. Now, I'm probably going to have to do this in certain parts here. So this will be officially part 1. So I copied this whole conversation that we had back and forth. And mind you, this is going to be long, but get ready for the ride, folks, because this is going to be good. He said, "Hi, I haven't forgotten about you. I got busy and forgot to properly respond to your email. I'll try to do it this week." And then a couple days goes by, and he says this. He said, "Hi, I'd like to continue our discussion. I didn't think that Facebook was the right place. It's the reason why he did this. He didn't want any of his other witness friends seeing the entire conversation about what we were talking about or anything like that. The fear took over. He said, "Hi, I'd like to continue our discussion. I didn't think Facebook was the right place. I had posted the question in an effort to get my cousin in the conversation." So it was his cousin. "If you want to talk about this, I can't do via phone anymore because I just don't have the breath for a long conversation. I do care about you. You were very close to us way back when, and that has not changed on my part." Now, I wasn't really close to this person at all. It's just he's just trying to make this crap up or whatever. I knew him, somebody in the hall. That's about it. The Kingdom Hall that I grew up in. So, one thing that he did was, when he started this thread regarding like birthdays and everything, is once I started making the valid points for everybody out there to see, his witness friends and everything, he deletes the entire conversation. You have to wonder why. The reason why is because he didn't want people seeing the actual factual points that I was bringing up to him and to everyone else out there. So I said, I presented some valid points, and yet when the delete button is activated, I feel like what I pointed out just didn't matter. If I cared for someone, I certainly wouldn't just blow them off and delete what they had said. So, the question was directed to your cousin. How was I supposed to know? It seemed like it was a question for anyone out there, so I chimed in and presented some valid points and facts. Is it that you didn't want your cousin, or for that matter anyone else, to see my responses and the things I pointed out, and therefore you deleted it? So, that was my response. So, here's his response. I did it because it was in a public forum, and as you well know, that a private discussion in Facebook is not private. I didn't delete it because of what you said. I want to have a private conversation with you. See, they didn't want anybody, any other JWs to see, our conversations back and forth. I made a goof in deleting it, and I apologize. Really? Okay. What I'd like for you to think about is this. Did you know that the early witnesses celebrated Christmas and had the cross on the cover of the watchtower? Yeah, everybody should know this. Every JW doesn't, though. Okay? The last Christmas was done in the early 1940s. Okay. And I don't remember when the cross was removed. I can find out if you want to. As to my cousin seeing our differences, it can be confusing to someone that is not part of the congregation. I know that this is a hard point for you, and if you want to talk about it, I'd really like that. Now, just keep all this in mind. He says he'd really like that. He'd really like the conversation, okay? If I had thought I could have made our conversation not public, though, I don't know how to do it, but I will. And remember, one thing, if you take nothing else from this, I think of you as my friend. I deeply care about you. Okay, we'll just end part 1 here, okay? Now keep all of these things that this person is saying, keep everything in mind, okay? And enjoy the ride as it goes on.